Hello and welcome. Today we have quite a few things that we're looking at today. So when the Addiction Tokyo launched their Through the Glass Holiday Part 2 collection, there were a few items that I really wanted to have. So I purchased those. That includes this black blush, which is called Hidden Blush. We're going to compare that to the Anna Sui, which is one of my favorites. I also picked up a couple of their lip products. So these are the Lip Serum Tints as well as their Ultra Sparkle in Rose Bubble. In addition, we have a ton of lip products that we're also going to be looking at today. So I have lip oils with SPF from Bloomeffects. We have the Finding Ferdinand Morphosis Balms. We also have the Biossance Biopeptide Lip Perfector in Supernova, as well as two of the Pacifica tinted balms. These are very fruity. And then we have a whole bunch of the Ole Henriksen balms. So these are the Pout Preserve Peptide Lip Treatments. So I have six of them. Plus, we're also going to be taking a look at the Fara Homidi Holiday Lip Set. So quite a few products that we're taking a look at today. But first, let's take a quick look at the RCMA loose powder. So this is the original no color powder. I purchased this from Beautylish. It does come in different sizes and it's made in the US. It's paraben free. We have a 2-year shelf life. It's cruelty free. This particular one, you can see it's a pretty large container. We have a small space up here for, like a puff or something, but it's smaller than standard size. So what I like to do is decant some onto a little plate and then I use my brush or puff from there. So let's take a look at this on the face. This powder is a classic. It's an iconic powder and I've actually just tried it. So it's new to me. We have 3 ounces of products. That's 85 grams. And, it's actually a very inexpensive product. So just one 3-ounce container retails for $14 US on Beautylish. And as I mentioned, it's made in the US, it's paraben free. This is purely talc and silica. So if you want to be talc free, this is not that. However, if you're looking for something to give you a similar finish to the Givenchy powder that was reformulated, this does not have the color correcting benefits to it, but it does give you the same type of matte finish that you would get from the previous version. So I think it's a really nice powder. And, thank you so much to the subscriber who was kind enough to recommend this. And I'm so glad that I picked this up. I think it's a really beautiful powder. Now, according to the information on Beautylish, it says, set your makeup like the pros with this cult classic invisible setting powder. Used on set by Hollywood makeup artists for years, RCMA no color powder sweeps seamlessly over skin, locking in a soft focus finish that stays comfortably matte all day. And you can see that whether I'm using the brush or a puff with this, I get a really beautiful finish. And sometimes with certain powders, you go in with the brush, you get a very light finish, but you get a much stronger matte finish with the puff. You do get a stronger matte finish here, but it's not as much of a difference. So it doesn't look like cakey or dry. It's still, it seems to just kind of stick where it needs to stick. So I think it's a really beautiful powder and I'm impressed. So let's move on to the Addiction Tokyo. This is their liquid eyeshadow Ultra Sparkle. And this is the shade 107 Rose Bubble. So this is a limited edition shade for their holiday collection. And you can see it's a soft rosy champagne shade. And what I love about these formulas here, I have a few of these Ultra Sparkles. I mean, it's pretty smooth. You can tap it on to get more of a starlight effect like you would with a topper. It works well over other liquids. It also works well over powders, and I'll show you that in a minute. But you can also put on a couple layers of this and have it a bit more opaque. So I do have like a reel or short, showing that, a look that I wore one day, using this solely as the eyeshadow. Today, what I decided to do is mix it with the Sisley liquid eyeshadow in 8. And this is one of their newer shades, and it's a really beautiful taupe shade here. And I love this. It does have some silver shimmer in here, and I think the Rose Bubble really offsets it nicely. They pair beautifully together to give it just a slightly different look. So as you're looking at the eye swatches here and the demos, Let's talk a little bit about this formula. According to Addiction Tokyo, this is a limited edition liquid eyeshadow color that shines with dazzling sparkles like stardust. This glitter hue will make you feel as effervescent as champagne bubbles. It's smudge resistant and long lasting, allowing you to party until dawn. And I have to say, I did wear it, for a full day without a primer, with nothing underneath it. And after 12 hours, I still had no signs of creasing. It really held up beautifully. And these are one of the best. I love these. These are one of the best products from Addiction Tokyo, one of the best liquid eyeshadow formulas. And I personally use their Ultra Sparkle. So nice, shimmery. You don't really get fallout from this. Retails for $24 US. And again, this particular shade is going to be limited edition, but they have some great shades in the permanent collection as well. And I just want to share this one from the permanent line, just a swatch of this. This is number 2, Cause Freedom. And it's one of my favorites. You can see this one is going to be a warmer shade. This is kind of your gold, green, pink multi-chrome. Really beautiful shade, but I think that's a really nice one as well. And it works really well with the holidays as well. Let's go ahead and move on to the blush. And in this case, the Addiction Tokyo through the Glass collection, it released this black blush called number 101 Hidden Blush. So this is going to be limited edition and it looks black. It's a cream blush, but this is going to have more of a soft blackberry hue to it. So you can see that we do, a lot of times the black blushes, they turn a bit more pink. You can see we definitely have more of that bluish grapey purple in there compared to the Anna Sui, which this is my favorite of the black cream blushes that I have tried in the past. So this is it's number 400. But this one is also a beautiful blackberry. It's a little bit more pigmented than the Addiction Tokyo. The Addiction Tokyo is supposed to be more sheer, but you can see it is going to be more pink. So this is going to be a more pink version, whereas this is going to be a little bit lighter and a little bit more grape, a little more purple, more blue in there. So depending on your skin tone, certain skin tones, this may end up, not working quite well, might look a little bit more bruise-like, whereas the Anna Sui might be a good option for those people who need a little bit more pink in there. So as you're taking a look at these cheek swatches and demos, just a little bit more information. The Hidden Blush 101 is a magical cream cheek tint with a surprising effect. This unique formula starts as a chic black cream that transforms into a beautiful flushed pink as you blend it into your skin. And again, I think it's more of like a blackberry than a true pink. If you're looking for more of a true pink, I think the Anna Sui is a better option. But I think these are both beautiful products and it really depends what you're going for. So this retails for $26 US and I think it's a great blush. So honestly, I'm really happy that I have both of them. So it's kind of hard to choose between the two. If you're wondering about product performance, the cream cheek tint, it does last all day. And it's a cream cheek product. It doesn't 100% sink into your skin, but you're not really left with that dewy, tacky feel on your skin either. It does mostly sink in, so it does perform well. I don't have issues with smudging or smearing throughout the day. It sets down and it still stays present on my skin throughout the day. So I think overall it's a really great product and I love this blush. I actually would like to see this as part of their permanent line because I do think they have some lip shades that go nicely with this type of blush. Now I do have just a couple of lip products I wanted to share with you that, kind of go with the blush. Actually, one of my favorites is the Givenchy Black Lip Balm, which I have downstairs in my purse because that is a go-to for me. But this is the Addiction Tokyo. This is called Taste of Life. It's number 15 and this is in their Lipstick Extreme Shine. So you can see we have kind of this nice deep cocoa black. There's a little bit of brown in there, a little bit of aubergine, but I think it's a really beautiful shade. And let's just kind of sheer that out a little bit so you can really see what that looks like. But I think this lipstick to me pairs really well with the blush. And then this is also from Givenchy. This is number 11 in their liquid balms. And this is a favorite of mine as well. And this will change color. And I'll leave this here for a second and we'll take a look at this in a second. All right, so the color will change more if you wear it on your lips and you kind of smoosh them together a little bit, but you can see that the shade of this is turning to more of a deep boysenberry blackberry mix. So it goes well with both the Anna Sui and the Addiction Tokyo. It's kind of in between the two because we have a little bit more of that blacker base to it in comparison, but I would say it's closer to the Addiction Tokyo, but it has a little bit more pink in it as well. So I think those are just some great products that made me, the Addiction Tokyo blush made me think of those, and I think they just pair really well together. So let's go ahead and move on to some lip products. So while we're on Addiction Tokyo, let's take a look at the two lip serum tints that I picked up. So these are both limited edition, but I love the shades. So we're going to start off with this one here, which is 101 Tipsy Berry. And I actually have this on my lips right now. I have a little bit of a lip cocktail though, so we'll go over that in a little bit. But you can see that this shade here is kind of, it's like a rosy mauve shade, but we have a little bit more dusty rose in there. Perhaps even a little bit of a rusty rose mixed with mauve. So this is 101 Tipsy Berry. And I personally love their lip serum tints. I think they're really comfortable. Then we have 102 Amaretto. And I do want to show you the wand on these because I personally really love the wand. See how flexible that is, how much bend we have, yet we also have a lot of precision with the tip. So I find the applicator for these to be really nice. So if you've used like the SUQQU, like lip fog and so forth, it's a similar type of applicator. So these are the two limited edition shades for the newest collection. And let's take a look at the lip swatches for these. Each of the lip serum tints retail for $27 US. Tipsy Berry is described as a deep berry shade, whereas Amaretto is described as a reddish brown with gold flecks. So there is going to be a little bit of shimmer in there. Both shades have a touch of shimmer, but honestly, it's not a lot. You're not actually seeing glitter. What it does is it gives it a little bit more of a metallic glint to it. It's very finely milled, but there is a little bit more of that golden metallic foiled look to each of them, but it's very subtle. Now, according to Addiction Tokyo, it says our best-selling lip tint with long-lasting color, shine, and high color payoff is now available in 2 limited shades. These shades add a holiday mood to any look with just one swipe of the applicator. Now, I personally really like this formula because I find it is very comfortable to go on. It's smooth. It has a little bit of a vinyl texture to it, but it also has more of that thin lip oil texture. It's kind of like a mix of a variety of lip products. And I just find that cocktail to be really comfortable on the lips. It's very smooth. It sets down. Now, it's not gonna 100% fully set down to like a matte finish or anything like that, but it does last throughout the day fairly well. And you have a decent wear time. It lasts longer on me than, let's say, like a satin lipstick. But it's going to be kind of in that same ballpark. So I find them to be really comfortable. If you are somebody who licks your lips a lot, there is a little bit of a taste, more of like that like alcohol kind of flavor to it. So, I wouldn't recommend licking your lips with it. But I think the actual formula is fantastic. And honestly, that's not something that bothers me. So I personally really love these, and they are one of the lip products that I've used most this year. They're one of my favorite formulas. So really happy to have these new 2 limited edition shades. Let's go ahead and take a look at some additional lip products. Next, I want to take a look at the Fara Homidi holiday set. So this is the Essential Holiday Lip. Now, it's available from Sephora in the combination that I purchased. I actually purchased mine directly from the Fara Homidi website. And if you want to purchase this set on there, you actually have your choice of 3 different liners. So I have shade Dew, which is your lightest option. And this, again, is the one that's available at Sephora. So this is Dew for the lip liner. And this is a permanent shade. And I really wanted this one because when I made my original Fara Homidi purchases back when I did the video on it when her brand launched, this was the shade I really wanted, but it was sold out. So you can see it's kind of like a warm pink. It's neutral leaning warm though. So it's not overly warm, but it's definitely not a cool tone pink. We also have a pencil sharpener here. And then this is the lip palette. So if you are familiar with the lip palette, they are refillable, by the way, and they do sell refills, however, not for this shade. The lip palettes come in blue packaging. She also has a face compact in red packaging with the same general idea. So with the lip palette, we have this white shade here, which is like a blurring lip primer. It's essentially a matte lip balm. It has a little bit of a sheen to it, but it's going to give you more of that blurring mattified effect. Now, it's technically a primer, but sometimes I like to use it on top because it does kind of make the lip color a little bit more subtle, adds a little bit more blur. This shade is limited edition, and this is Holiday 1. So I'm guessing that means we will have Holiday 2 at some point as well. So if you are purchasing from her website, all of the lip sets have this same actual lip palette. It's just the lip liner that changes. Let's take a look at this on the lips. And I did use a few different combinations so you can kind of see how if you're playing around with the palette, some different options you might have here. Now, as for a few details, the lip compact has an 18-month shelf life and it's made in Italy. It is a metal compact, so it's gonna be heavy duty, and it is refillable. So if you use up this shade, you can definitely refill it from one of the shades in the permanent line. So there's just a little lip to kind of lift up the pan here. The lip pencil, again, I have shade Dew. We have a metal pencil sharpener that's included. This is going to be made in Japan. It's has a 12-month shelf life, and both of these products are vegan. Fara Homidi is a brand that was recently added to Sephora just this fall, so you can purchase this during the Sephora VIB sale if you're participating in that. Otherwise, I personally made my purchase from Fara Homidi before it launched at Sephora. It retails for $124 US. So it's definitely going to be a pricey set. So you definitely want to make sure that these are shades that you are interested in using. According to Fara Homidi, it's an exclusive holiday duo featuring the first special edition Essential Lip Compact in Holiday 1, a perfectly balanced modern berry tone, paired with the iconic Smudge and Contour lip pencil in a choice of Dew, Riche, or Bruni, complete with metal sharpener, designed to be used together to create an elevated, festive lip. And I've actually already used this palette a few times. I really like this shade. It's a redder berry with a little bit of warmth to it. So a lot of times we see these berries that are very cool toned. This is more neutral, leaning a little warm. So when you think of berry, mixing it with pink, think of mixing that berry with more of that salmon pink shade. And that's how this particular Holiday 1 shade looks. I think it goes very well with the Dew lip pencil, which is going to be lighter, more pink, but it still has that same tone of pink in that berry shade. So I think it's a nice mix there. Now, I'm not someone who typically loves lip palettes. However, the Fara Homidi ones, I do really like those. I like those. I like the Esom lip palette. Those are basically it for lip palettes, personally. So, I think it has a really nice, kind of like a sheer formula, a sheer shiny formula to it. It's comfortable. You can use a lip brush or you can use your finger. It's not too firm in the pan, but it's not so creamy that it's not like buttery where you're like making a mess and indenting in it. So I find it pretty easy to use, and I personally really enjoy the formula. As for the lip pencils, they remind me a little bit of the Givenchy lip pencils if I had to find the closest comparison. They are not quite as firm as a Jones Road, yet not quite as soft and creamy as some others we've seen. Like, for example, I would say the new Tom Fords are a little bit creamier than this is. However, I think this stays put really well, and it still has some creaminess to it. So you can definitely kind of blend this out, blur it out, and so forth. So I think it's a really nicely balanced formula. Overall, I think the lip set is a win. I really like it, and as I mentioned, I've already used it several times. I just hadn't had a chance to film with it until now, but it is a palette that I'm really enjoying for the holiday season. Let's take a look at some additional lip products. So next, I want to take a look at these Bloomeffects hydrating lip oils, and these are an SPF lip oil. So they have SPF 40. These three were gifted to me. This first shade is called Tulipy Pink, and you can see we have, kind of like like a teardrop shaped applicator here. And it's going to be a little bit on the larger side. This truly feels like a lip oil. So it is going to be a thinner formula. It's a very pigmented lip oil, and it's an opaque lip oil. So a lot of times we see lip oils and they're very, very sheer, very translucent. This shade here is called Fruit Punch. You can see that these are going to be much more opaque, but they're very comfortable on the lips. Now, as for wear time on these, we'll talk about that in just a second. This last shade here is Barely. So just a quick look at the 3 shades here. So the first one, the tulipy pink, is going to be your warm nude pink. We have a little bit of a warm brown mixed with a pink there. The Fruit Punch shade here is going to be more of a brighter, it's not fuchsia, but it's a very bright neutral pink with a little bit of a cooler overtone, and Barely is going to be a warm peachy nude. Let's take a look at the lip swatches here. Now, the Tulip Screen Hydrating Lip Oils retail for $29 US. We have 7 milliliters in each. And these are 100% mineral broad spectrum SPF 40+. So according to Bloomeffects, it's a nourishing SPF 40+ non-nano 100% mineral sunscreen tinted lip oil. Hydrates, calms, and visibly plumps lips while shielding against UVA, UVB, blue light, and pollution. I have to say, I think these are a really nice product, especially if you're going to be outside for a while. It's always nice to have a little extra SPF. And, I think they're very comfortable to wear. I really like them. The wear time on these, they are going to be more of an oil. I give it 2 to 3 hours. So, it definitely is going to wear off and you will want to reapply, but it's very comfortable. It almost feels like a lip serum oil. You can feel some of it kind of sinking into the lips. So thank you so much to Bloomeffects for gifting me these 3 shades. I really like the formula here. The one that I've worn the most is actually going to be the first shade, the Tulipy Pink. But I have to say, I think my favorite is probably the Fruit Punch. And I like to mix the 2 of these. So I think, overall, it's a really nice product. I love having that additional sun protection, and I think it's very comfortable on the lips. So let's go ahead and move on to another lip product. All right, next, let's take a look at some lip balms from Ferdinand. And these were also gifted. These are the Metamorphosis lip balms. So you can purchase all 3 of them in a set, or they now sell them individually. So the first shade here, this is a clear shade. This is Chrysalis, and you can see it's just a clear balm, and you can use this overnight or whatever. It gives you a nice soft silky feeling on your lips. I actually like this as a little bit of moisture, when I'm starting to put on my makeup, lip prep basically. So I put that on, start doing my foundation, everything, and use that as my base for lipstick. So then we have 2 additional shades. We have Papillon and Flutter. Now these are both going to be pH indicator shades. So I'm gonna put these up here. Hopefully the warmth from my hand will turn that a little bit more quickly. So this shade here is going to give you a soft pink, and it's going to turn a little bit brighter pink. We'll see in the lip swatches. And then Flutter here is also a pH indicator shade. This is going to give you more of a pink coral. It's more of like, it's very similar in the pink to this, but you have more of that coral orangey sparkle to it. So it is going to look a little bit warmer. And this is also really great as a topper. So let's take a look at these on the lips. As I mentioned, you can purchase all 3 of these in a set for $65 US, or you can purchase them individually for $26 US. Each balm is 3.5 grams of product. These are cruelty-free, eco-friendly, vegan, non-toxic, no parabens. They have a 1-year shelf life, and they're made in the US. Packaging here is nice, and it has a nice weight to it. We have a mix of some plastic and metal in here, and it is going to be a click closure. I really like the inspiration behind these balms. I really like the inspiration behind these balms. It's a narrative of transformation. Change is the only constant. We embrace it and learn to live with it through hard times, through challenging times, and in devastating times. but through the hard, challenging, and devastating times, we can learn to grow. In the optimist mind, the outcome is beautiful. So I really like the kind of inspiration behind these balms. And yeah, you know, I think they're really comfortable. They are going to be a bit more of a firmly textured balm, so they're not going to be one of those buttery balms that you kind of go through very quickly, but they are easy to swipe on and swipe off, and you're going to get a sheer soft satin sheen with these balms, and I think they're very comfortable. Now, Flutter is the sparkly shade. I would not say there's much sparkle. There's enough to catch a little bit of light, but it's definitely not going to be like a glittery balm. Overall, I have to say I really like all three of them for different purposes, but probably the one that I like the most is probably going to be Papillon. I love the shade of pink that it turns. So one more time, here are the swatches. We have the clear chrysalis here. I have a little bit of staining on this portion, but you can see it clearly right here. And then this is the Papillon, the pink. And this is going to be Flutter, which has a little bit of shimmer. And you can see there's really not much glitter there. So let me just show you that in the tube. So you can see there is some shimmer. There we go. So there is some shimmer. It's very, very finely milled. And it's definitely not going to be like a true glitter balm. So it's very subtle. Personally, I think they're all great. A really nice product. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Biossance Pro Peptide Lip Perfector. And this one here is in the shade Supernova. They do have 3 shades, but I had to try this one because of the, you know, it's purple. So this one here, again, is Supernova. And I have used Biossance products for years. And if you look at some of my earlier videos, particularly the lip balm videos and so forth, their original lip balm was one of my favorites. They did change it. I didn't like it as much. Then they came out with the ones in the squeezy tube. There is one that's kind of just a pure lip balm in the tube that, you know, is nice, but it's a little bit more of a lip oil. This is a different texture. So I actually really like this one because it's a little bit thicker, a little bit more emollient. Let's look at this on the lips. So this is the Pro Peptide Lip Perfector. And the other balms I was referring to were the squalane balms. So I personally really like this new formula here because it's a little bit thicker. It's got, you know, a nice amount of shine, and I really love this Supernova shade. So we do have 3 shades. There is a clear one, H2O Glow. There is a pink in Blush Quartz, which I might end up picking that one up during the Sephora sale. And then we have the Supernova, which is the berry. There is a soft vanilla scent here, and according to Biossance, it says triple treat your lips to deep 24-hour moisture while visibly improving plump and instantly smoothing appearance. A trio of hydrating ingredients delivers instant, deep, and long-lasting moisture for plumper looking lips. And this is also going to be a vegan lip balm. We have 15 grams of product, and it retails for $18 US. Now, this is available at Sephora's if you wanted to purchase it during the Sephora sale, but I usually end up purchasing directly from Biossance. They always have really great deals, particularly around Black Friday. I love it when they do those big like gift bags, and yeah, so that's usually when I stock up. So this has a 2-year shelf life, and it does have squalane, and it's derived from sugar cane. And the balm is made in the US. So overall, I think it's a really beautiful lip balm. I love the texture of it. It's very comfortable. It's going straight to my purse. So let's go ahead and take a look. I've got a few other balms I really like here as well. So let's take a look at these. I have 2 from Pacifica, and these 2 were gifted to me. These are their complex lip balms. And this first shade here is Dreamy Youth. And this is going to be, you can see it's a little bit of a thinner texture than the Biossance. It definitely has high shine. It's super comfortable on the lips. These are going to have a little bit of, they're going to be scented, and they have a little bit of a fruity taste to them. So this one here, Dreamy Youth, you can see is actually more of a soft pinkish red. And this smells like a strawberry fruit roll-up. So it took me a minute. You know, my kids don't eat fruit roll-ups, but I remember eating them all the time as a kid. I was like, what is that smell? I remember that so well. And that's what it smells like to me. And then I also have Glow Baby. And this one here is going to be more of a citrus scent. It's almost clear here. You have a little bit of a soft peachy vibe to it. But this one smells more like a creamsicle, like an orange creamsicle. Now, I do want to note that the scents on these are going to be a little bit more powerful. They're not overwhelming. They're very pleasant smelling, but it's not going to be a super subtle scent. So let's take a look at these on the lips. So these are the complex lip balms from Pacifica, and they have different versions of these. They retail for $10 US, and they do have, you know, they have a clear one called Wake Up Beautiful that has a lavender lemon scent. I haven't tried that one, but that one's, you know, intended for overnight. They also have a vegan collagen lip balm, which is going to be a little bit different from these as well, because that one is going to have that vanilla cupcake scent, and that one is, it looks like it's going to be more of a soft pink shade. Now, as for Dreamy Youth, they're describing the scent as a strawberry rose scent, and it says your lips will smell as sweet as they look. These lip balms have 15 milliliters of product. They're 100% PCR tube and cap. They're PETA approved. They're vegan. We have squalane, vitamin C, plant oils, plant proteins. They have a 6-month shelf life, and it's going to be made in the US with global ingredients. So I have to say, I think I love the scents. They, you know, kind of bring me back to my childhood a little bit. As I mentioned, the Dreamy Youth one is described as strawberry rose, but to me, it smells just like strawberry fruit roll-ups. And personally, my favorite of the two scents is going to be the Glow Baby. I love oranges. Oranges are kind of my thing. I eat tons of them. So this one, it says it smells like a sweet tangerine dream. It really smells like an orange creamsicle to me. I love the scent. So these are very comfortable on the lips. They give you a nice shine. They are going to be more of a glossy lip balm, and they're not as thin as an oil, but they still have a little bit of that oily texture in there. So we can see we've got the Biossance Supernova, the Dreamy Youth, and the Glow Baby from Pacifica here. Let's take a look at a couple other tinted lip balms here. And those would be the Ole Henriksen. These are the Pout Preserve Peptide Lip Treatments, and these are incredibly popular. And honestly, I just recently tried these, and I picked up all of them. There is now a limited edition available. I ordered that from the Sephora sale, but that hasn't arrived yet. This is the original though. So this original shade, it doesn't have the name on here, but it's Citrus Sunshine. So this one is going to have a little bit more of a soft citrus scent to it. It is not going to be as strong as that of the Pacifica. I have to say, it's a little bit more of a fresh orange. I wouldn't say it smells like a fresh orange, but compared to the Pacifica, it's not as sweet as that one. It's also a little bit more subtle. I have to say, I love the scent of oranges so much. I like the Pacifica scent just slightly more, just because it's more oranges. But you can see this one's going to be essentially clear on the lips. And then we had two holiday shades. And when you purchase the holiday shades, I had to kind of hunt these down. These are the Party Pout Duos. So you get one original, and then you also get one of these limited edition shades. So as I mentioned, I love oranges. Blood oranges are one of my favorites. So this one here is Blood Orange Spritz. Now these do have a scent and a taste. You can taste a little bit of what it smells like. So this is the Blood Orange Spritz. I think it's a beautiful shade on the lips. It's kind of a reddish, a little bit of orange in there, kind of like a more red coral. And if you're familiar with blood oranges, this is going to be a little bit more like the true bitterness of a blood orange. So you do have a little bit of that, you know, that bitterness in there that makes it a blood orange. It's not like the candy sweetened version of it. So I personally, I like it. It's more accurate. But then we have Pomegranate Fizz. This one, surprisingly, is actually my favorite of the two holiday shades. This is going to be more of a pink, and you can see it's going to be a cooler tone pink. Really beautiful on the lips, and it smells like pomegranates, which, again, another one of my favorite fruits. So then we have some that are in the permanent line here. And this one is Creme Brulee, and it really does smell like a burnt caramel creme brulee. This is going to be essentially clear on the lips. You don't see too much of it. It is a little bit of a nude shade, more of a soft brown. So if you put it on top of another lip color, you're going to dilute it a little bit, but you're not going to see a ton of color on its own. And then we have Strawberry Sorbet. And I think that's a pretty accurate name for the scent here. This is going to be a soft nude pink. You can see it's got a little bit of a warmer tone here, and it's more of a subtle strawberry scent. And then we have Cocoa Creme. And I love the way this one looks on the lips. And this, it's more of that fake cocoa that you get in a lip product. It doesn't smell like real cocoa to me. So, but you know, it's still pleasant. So these are the Ole Henriksen ones I have. Let's take a look at these on the lips. These retail for $22 US, but if you are looking around, you can occasionally find different sets that will give you a little bit of a discount on these. And I ended up purchasing these from a variety of retailers just to kind of hunt down all of the shades. So I purchased some directly from Ole Henriksen, some from Ulta. I can't even remember. I know it was another site to get one of the other limited edition ones. So yeah, I think they're a really nice lip balm. So it's a nice tinted lip balm. Very, very comfortable. I can see why these are so popular. We have 12 milliliters of product, 6 months shelf life, and these are going to be made in Italy. So if you do not use lip balms all the time like I do, I wouldn't recommend buying all of them at once since there is a 6 month shelf life. But if you're a lip balm fanatic, you know, there are things to love about each of these. Now, according to Ole Henriksen, it's an advanced lip treatment with skin strengthening peptides and cocoa butter that instantly plumps lip with hydration and smooths fine lines. It was an award winner for 2023 People's Beauty Awards as their best lip treatment. Continuing on, it says this lip treatment goes beyond hydration. Over time, our lips lose their naturally full, soft look. This ultra-nourishing lip treatment visibly counteracts this volume loss, restores bounce, and smooths fine lines. The active formula is clinically tested to give you softer, bouncier, fuller-looking lips in just 1 week. They go on to discuss different ingredients that are included and so forth, but I have to say I do really like the lip balm. Do I notice any real difference with, you know, continued use? I personally don't really notice anything, but it's comfortable to wear. I love the scents on these. Again, you will have a little bit of a taste if you are like licking your lips or something like that. So it kind of tastes the way it smells. So it kind of goes with the scent. I have to say, I love them. So I am definitely going to be keeping these in my regular rotation as well. Overall, just a quick summation of everything we talked about today. So we start off with the RCMA Original No Color Powder. I think this is a really great powder. It's a great budget item as well. But if you are trying to stay talc free, the only ingredients in this are talc and silica. So I think it gives a beautiful finish, but if talc is a concern for you, this isn't for you. And then we took a look at some products from Addiction Tokyo. We start off with the Hidden Blush. We compared it to the Anna Sui, and I feel like they have some similarities, but also differences. This is gonna be a little bit bluer in tone. This is a little bit pinker in tone, and this is also gonna be a little bit deeper in tone as well. So overall, I really like both of them. Then we moved on to the Ultra Sparkle in Rose Bubble from their holiday collection. These are a fantastic formula. If you haven't tried them and you want sparkly eyes, totally worth checking these out. And again, those are going to be a limited edition. And then we moved on and we took a look at the new Lip Serum Tints for their holiday collection, which for me are both must-have shades. I really love them. I love that formula, and I think the new shades are just great neutrals for all year round. There's a subtle shimmer to it, but not something noticeable on the lips. And then we took a look at the Fara Homidi holiday set. And as I mentioned, I do have a lip cocktail on, so you can kind of see that now. I'll put the clip up here so you can see what I have on. But I start off with the lip pencil in Dew from the Fara Homidi set. And this is a great shade that is available permanently year round. And then I added the Addiction Tokyo Lip Serum Tint in the 101 Tipsy Berry, and I topped that off with one of the Finding Ferdinand Balms, the Flutter shade. So that's the lip cocktail I have on right now. But this Fara Homidi set I think is a great set. You know, it's kind of like a warmer berry lip, and I think it's a really nice product, especially if you're purchasing it during the Sephora sale and you're getting a discount on it. Totally worth it. I love how we have the metal compact that is refillable, and refills are already available for permanent shades. Then we took a look at the Bloomeffects lip oils, and I think these are great. A lot of lip oils are very translucent and sheer, and you don't really see much color. These are opaque. You're getting color, you're getting sunscreen. I mean, what's not to love there? So I think those are a really nice product. They are going to be a little bit runnier, like a lip oil. And then we moved on and we took a look at the Biossance Pro Peptide Lip Perfector in Supernova. I love this berry shade. This is, you know, I just think it's fantastic. So this is going straight in my purse. It's going to be a most used shade for me. I'm also going to grab, you know, some of these other balms that we featured here today. Probably the Glow Baby from Pacifica, which we also took a look at. This has a wonderful orange creamsicle scent. We also looked at Dreamy Youth, which is a great shade on the lips, kind of more of a reddish, I guess a reddish berry, reddish pink kind of shade. And the Glow Baby doesn't have a much of a shade. And then the Ole Henriksen, the Pomegranate Fizz is my favorite that we looked at here today. And yeah, I think these are all very comfortable. So these were swatches here of some of those later lip balms. We have the Biossance here. These are going to be our Pacifica. We've got the Dreamy Youth and the Glow Baby. These are the Ole Henriksen. So we have the Citrus Sunshine, the Blood Orange Spritz, the Pomegranate Fizz, Creme Brulee. This is Strawberry Sorbet and Cocoa Creme. And I have to say, I really love all of them. So I am a huge lip balm addict. So, you know, this just kind of makes my heart happy. So I hope this was helpful and you can find a lip balm that works well for you if you're in the market for one. But thank you so much for tuning in. I think we had some really great holiday offerings here, and I hope you're enjoying the season. So thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you very soon, and I hope you have a wonderful day.